Hello gamers, what is good? It is Crim and welcome to our last pre-patch guide. Today's guide intends to give you a basic and brief overview of the Assassination Rogue in the Shadowlands pre-patch. This guide will be good both for current players who want to understand the gameplay impact this will have, but also for returning and new players who want to get to grips with the basics of the spec. Assassination has been the go-to raiding spec in BFA with the exception of a handful of fights, and won't see a whole lot of changes going into Shadowlands, probably the least out of all three rogue specs. The pre-patch, however, will also remove corruptions, and this is the biggest change for Assassination. While the other two rogue specs aren't affected as much, the very popular high haste build for Assassination that includes Exsanguinate and Crimson Tempest will be gutted with the removal of haste amp corruptions. Toxic Blade is also no longer there and is instead replaced by Shiv. However, the Toxic Blade functionality that Assassination will get on Shiv won't actually be added until you reach level 58. On top of that, you also have an extra maintenance buff in the form of Slice and Dice. So let's see how all of these changes impact the Assassination Rogue in the Shadowlands pre-patch. Let's start us off by having a look at the talent setup. And keep in mind that the one you see on screen right now may not also be best in Shadowlands. I'll make sure when Shadowlands does release to put out full-length in-depth guides for all three rogue specs, so make sure you are subscribed to not miss those and any other relevant rogue news that I will be talking about in the future. On the first row, elaborate planning is the go-to talent. We have high enough energy regen to give us enough finishes to maintain high uptime on this buff and gain enough value out of the talent. On pure single target, the reworked blindside talent on this row is also pretty decent. If you do decide to play this talent, make sure you have ambush bound to something that is not your stealth bar or you won't be able to use it. On the second row, Subterfuge is the go-to pick. This is especially good when combined with the Shrouded Suffocation Azerite trait, and I'll make sure to get to Azerite traits after talking about the talents. The other two talents on this row are not too far behind, you can sim it if you want to be super sure. On the third row, Vigor is the standard pick. The extra energy regen helps the very slow assassination spec quite a lot, especially after losing the tons of haste that we have gained with corruption. On the fifth row, the Toxic Blade talent is now gone and has been replaced by Alacrity. As I mentioned before, the loss of the haste amp corruptions especially has really reduced the value of picking Exsanguinate. Venom Rush is kind of underwhelming and Alacrity is pretty damn good, so this is going to be an easy choice. On the last row, Poison Bomb is once again the choice in both single target and AoE. Again, with the loss of haste amp corruptions, Crimson Tempest has lost a lot of value. However, in sustained AoE, this can still be the go-to pick. Let's shift our focus then to Azerite Essences and Azerite Traits. For single target, your best in slot major essence is going to be the Condensed Life Force or Guardian of Azeroth. In AoE, it is going to be Essence of the Focusing Iris. You can alternatively also play Blood of the Enemy, though it is slightly worse. When it comes to minor essences, you will want to pick Crucible of Flame, Memory of Lucid Dreams, and either Conflict and Strife or Breath of the Dying as your last minor essence. When it comes to Azerite traits, you have a couple of options. The one I mentioned earlier in the talent section is Shrouded Suffocation, and you will want to try and pick up 3 of these. When you are going for pure single target, you can pick 3 double dose traits instead. However, Shrouded Suffocation is more versatile in a variety of situations. You can fill out the other 3 spots with generic stat procs like Heart of Darkness or Clockwork Heart, or crit specific procs like Blightborn Infusion or Swirling Sands. You can also opt to go for 1 nothing personal trait if you so desire. If you're interested in making a pure AoE build, you can also go for 3 Shrouded Suffocation traits and 3 Echoing Blades trait. Or alternatively, just play Outlaw. It's probably better. On the inner ring, you are going to want to go for the overwhelming power traits, as many of those as possible. When it comes to stats, agility is once again king. Critical strike and versatility have gone up in the rankings for Assassination Rogue and are coming in as second and third, tied pretty closely. Mastery and Haste both rank quite a bit lower, so try to avoid those stats where possible. Next up is the Assassination Rotation, and the spec is very much centered around keeping bleeds and poisons active on all of your targets. As Assassination especially, it is very important to apply your poisons pre-pull to your weapons, and then have those poisons ticking on all of your targets while in combat. Like the other two rogue specs, Assassination wants to build combo points to then spend those on finishers. Your most important combo point builder, though not the main combo point builder, is Garrote, a bleed that you want to have active on all of your important targets. When you use this, it will also grant you 1 combo point, and you will want to reapply this bleed when it is close to falling off. Keep in mind that when using the Shrouded Suffocation trait, Garrote will give you 3 combo points rather than 1, and when using the Subterfuge talent, your Garrotes from stealth are empowered. In this case, it is fine to let this empowered Garrote fall off before reapplying it with a weaker Garrote. When you have done all of this, your main combo point builder will become Mutilate, or Ambush from stealth, or when using the Blindside talent. If you are fighting 4 or more targets, Fan of Knives will become your main combo point builder. If none of the targets have deadly poison ticking on them though, you can start using Fan of Knives at 3 targets. When it comes to finishers, Assassination's main priority is to keep the Slice and Dice buff up. If you have this, then the next priority becomes having Rupture active on all targets, another one of those bleeds that you will want to refresh before it falls off. If you have done both of those things, then you can use Envenom to spend the remainder of your combo points, and it is usually worth trying to pull some energy before using the Envenom. When it comes to cooldowns, Assassination only has 1 major cooldown, which is Vendetta. When used, your target will take 30% increased damage for 20 seconds. You want to try and sync this up with Vanish, because your tier 2 talents all empower your abilities when coming from stealth. Syncing these up is very powerful. Assassination is still a very good single turret spec in the pre-patch, although Subtlety is very close and probably slightly better. Especially later as we get into Shadowlands, Assassination does start to run into a host of issues, and there's a lot of things to work through before they can be considered great again. Until then, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Like, comment and subscribe if you are so inclined, or come find me on my stream twitch.tv/crimwow. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in the next video.